Hey there, fans. Welcome back. We had so much success with our last top three, and thanks to Q Diggity, we gained some additional fans and some fan mail came in response to the last video with Q Diggity. And I want to correct a horrible tragedy. We all had matching G-Shocks last episode, and none of us talked about it. So little shout out to the classic G-Shock. So today's episode from Stuffy Erotic Productions is our top three favorite film directors. So we're going with film directors. We're each going to do our top three. And take it away, fellas. Who's going first with your number three position?
I'll start out. I'm back in the rock room. I got the king with me today, and I'm in my quarantine gear, which is basically pajamas. My number three pick is an all-American boy from Oklahoma. He was in the Andy Griffith Show, and he was in Happy Days. You might know him as Opie Griffith. You might know him as Richie Cunningham. We're going Ron Howard. He's done movies from Splash, Cocoon, Apollo 13 to The Grinch, wide variety, all-American guy, all-American movies. Ron Howard, my number three.
Very good pick. One I did not see coming, but a very good pick.
Would have been one of my picks. Big fan of Opie. Big fan of Apollo 13. I love his cameo in The Simpsons when he's getting boozed up on vodka all the time. I don't condone that action, but it was funny at the time.
Yeah, and Happy Days, Richie Cunningham. We grew up on it.
Of course.
We're the rerun. We're the rerun kids.
When I was a kid, I wanted that show on just to watch the intro and the song roll through. That was the biggest part for me, till I learned how cool the Fonz was.
Little rock and roll.
Hell yeah.
So I guess I'll go next. For me, right now I got at number three, the Farrelly brothers, Bobby and Peter. They've done some pretty good movies of late, but nothing I'm really too big on. I got Hall Pass, Stuck on You, Shallow Hal, and The Heartbreak Kid. Those are okay movies. I got a good chuckle from them, but they rolled out four in a row from 1994 to 2000. Dumb and Dumber, Kingpin, There's Something About Mary, and Me, Myself, and Irene. It's got to be some of the funniest movies of all time. Something About Mary might be my top comedy. I'm telling you, I would give these 8 thumbs up, 4 pissed pants. I couldn't stop laughing. Just great stuff. Blowing the doors out at 4 in a row. Come on, who is throwing that out?
That has to be one of the best 4 comedy stretches any director's ever had.
Not 5 movies, 4 movies. What's wrong with you? And Q Diggity, I think we went and saw that twice at the movie theater. One time at the Shores Madrid.
Heck yeah, we did. Laughing,
we had a lot going on, like now.
Shout out to Shores Theater, man. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Jay Goebbels was an employee there, so were a couple of our buddies and fans.
Right. That's right. We had some fun times there.
Oh, those were the days, man. Those were the days.
I remember somebody in a garbage can there falling down. I'm not going to say who, but I don't know if anybody remembers that.
Could that be Boston Roy?
I think that probably, most likely.
It could be. It could be. All right, I'm going to go off with my number 3 pick, fellas, and I'm going with Robert Zemeckis. He started off with Romancing the Stone and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So that's what he started with. Then he rolls into Back to the Future trilogy, one of my favorites as a child. Those movies are great. Then he only follows it up with one of the best movies of all time, Forrest Gump. And he had other good ones, such as Castaway, Contact, Flight. Just overall, great catalog of movies. And that would be my number 3.
It's a great pick. Another high voltage pick by the Dynamite Kid, Jay Goose. That's all there is to it. Romancing the Stone is one of my favorites. I know Sir Paul is big on Romancing the Stone too, John Wilder, the romance action novelist. Just
Z John Wilder? Z John Wilder? You want to show?
Well,
I want to show you my little mule. My little
Well,
mule.
a little thing about Forrest Gump as well, and shout out to my girlfriend. We went and saw Forrest Gump in the theater when we were in middle school together. So, little nostalgia there. Anyway, guys, let's turn it over to Paul Stuffy and get his number 3 pick.
Yeah, real quick. Yeah, Quinlan, your run of movies were great. Some of those films made our top 5 comedic film episode, so that was awesome so far. Great directors. I forgot to mention I'm wearing flannel. It's Flannel Friday. And not to mention it's snowing in the metro Detroit area. So I just talked about this in my unboxing video, but, I mean, he definitely is one of my favorite directors. So I'm going with Guy Ritchie. I'm going old school. I'm busting out the DVDs. So I just watched his new film, The Gentleman. Excellent. Featuring McConaughey, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, where we first fell in love with Jason Statham. And, of course, Sting, the musician, made an appearance in Lock, Stock. And then Brad Pitt was an awesome gypsy pikey in the movie Snatch. I mean, he's got other great films, Rock and Rolla. He was married to Madonna. You know,
That's his one
legendary
negative,
director.
I think that's his one negative, Paul.
What are you talking about? He was married to Madonna in her prime. I don't think that's a negative.
That's a big
Well, I'll
check
tell you.
figure right there.
I will tell you this: Rock and Rolla is a vastly underrated movie. They kept on saying he was going to make a sequel with the Wild Bunch, and that has not happened yet. But, dude, I love that movie. Great pick, Paul.
And we know John Gould loves sequels. He just loves them. He loves the second movie in a series.
Goes without saying, Stuffy. Guy Ritchie, those films, especially back at the old Cabbage Patch, watching Snatch. Didn't mean to rhyme that, but, it's in my NWA blood. But I'm turning some young bloods at my work on the Guy Ritchie stuff. It's just action, fun, just great comedy in it, too. Great characters. That's a great pick right there.
Great soundtracks, too. Excellent soundtracks, excellent music. And what's a cooler name for a movie other than Rock and Rolla?
Oh,
Rock
yeah.
and Roll is a great one. And a great soundtrack.
Snatch is intriguing to me, too.
Yeah, and what do we know about diamonds? I mean, don't they come from Antwerp? Okay, I think it's RCW's next pick.
All right. My second pick is going to be Martin Scorsese. If anybody didn't know, he's from New York. A lot of people might not know that about him. One of my favorites from his is The Last Waltz, documentary kind of / musical with the band, Color of Money, The Wolf of Wall Street, and my all-time favorite movie, The Departed. I'm not even going to go through and mention all his glorified gangster movies because they don't even need to be mentioned, and everybody knows about those, and everybody loves him for those. One thing about Scorsese is his music. He picks some of the greatest music for movies and scenes, and I think a lot of people might be able to relate to this. At least I can. It's like you hear a certain song, and it will take you back to a Martin Scorsese scene from one of his movies. So, yeah, obviously he's a huge music fan, same type of music that we all enjoy, that, soul, R&B, rock and roll from the 70s. Martin Scorsese, number 2.
Man, I don't know. A little overrated if you ask me.
Cape Fear?
I'm just joking.
Oh,
Great
all right. Okay. I was going to say.
Jimmy Conway, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
It's Fugazi. It's Fugazi.
It's a great pick. I mean, Scorsese, come on. Easy at number 1. No one's going to argue that. Always hitting up the music hard, Carp, and I think we all appreciate that. Getting great information nuggets, and you're tugging on my heartstrings when you're talking about that Last Waltz. Oh, darn, that is one of my favorites. Great music, great story. who didn't want to be in the band? Come on.
Well, I mean, growing up in the 90s too, I mean, all that music in those movies influenced us, and those movies with that music influenced us to like that type of music, I think.
No diggity.
I think everybody could agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, great. Scorsese's awesome, man. Can't find a better director than him. Really, he could have been number one. Really, so I'm really curious to see what your number one is.
Well, we're getting to that, and there may be some disagreements, but yeah, Scorsese definitely could be everybody's number one, especially us guys in their late 30s, early 40s.
I myself have no idea what RC Dub's number one's going to be. I'm waiting on the edge of my seat. Number two could also be a number one. It's a bit of a softball, but I'm going with Steven Spielberg. Again, the work speaks for itself. The man has made some great, great flicks. I'm a little hit or miss on some of his stuff lately, but some of my favorites going in order, most recent. You got Catch Me If You Can, Hook, Schindler's List, Always. I'm pretty sentimental for Always. It's a sentimental movie, but I like it even now that I'm not a huge Dreyfuss fan anymore. Empire of the Sun, I saw in the movie theater as an 8-year-old. That is a 6.5-hour-long movie, but my mom was getting into Oscar kicks around Easter time when they'd replay them. Holy cow. Turned out it was a good movie, but I had a rough one with that. But to get into the nitty-gritty, Jurassic Park for me was just, as a middle schooler, just blew my mind. The special effects, I think, are the best that's ever been done. I thought those dinosaurs were real, and I couldn't believe how damn fast they were. Just scared as hell from that. Indiana Jones trilogy. I don't think there is a fourth one. That Crystal Skull stuff. I'm sad I'm acknowledging it right now, but I love that, man. One of our fans out there, UT, might understand this, but the guy was an archaeologist. That's got to be one of the most boring professions up there with accounting, for crying out loud. And he made it look interesting. He punched people, and it was a big old smack sound. I love those flicks. And then Saving Private Ryan, the greatest theater experience I've ever had. I laughed, I cried again, all while with a soiled underwear, because I crapped my pants when that door went down on that LCVP boat. I mean, just a fantastic movie. And Jaws is probably my favorite movie of all time. How Robert Shaw didn't get an Oscar for his role is beyond me. Just all the lines, just fantastic stuff.
Yeah, it would be a crime if Steven Spielberg would have been left out of this list. But I will say, the scene in Jurassic Park when you first see the T-Rex, that scene might be the most suspenseful, cool scene ever.
I don't know, over the shark in Jaws.
Me personally, the first time I saw that T-Rex, when the kids are trapped inside, that is the most suspenseful scene I ever seen.
I agree with the dinosaurs. I mean, and then, the famous scene where the water's shaking, where, you saw that at the movie theater, you felt like, yeah, T-Rex was right behind you. But Jaws, with the music and how big that shark was, I mean, it made everybody scared of great whites and not want to swim in the water.
Absolutely.
And also, real quick, was he Back to the Future?
That's a negative.
Not. Okay.
Obviously, we're not paying attention to the picks.
There was a rumor that
that's why I asked, because he didn't pick Back to the Future. That's why I asked that if he was the director of Back to the Future.
I'm not the big Back to the Future fan here, but there was a rumor that he helped direct the end of Return of the Jedi, but with the Directors Guild, he didn't get a credit for it. But that's nothing's confirmed. But with that, you get the head, the tail, and the whole damn thing.
We need all that in Jurassic Park too to scare old Jay Goebbels over there.
All right, well, I'm going to go with my number 2 pick here, and it's going to be Christopher Nolan. I'm sure you guys all saw this coming, but I mean, he's the guy that started off with Memento, which if you haven't seen it, you need to see it. The movie goes backwards. It's awesome. Then he had hits like Prestige and Inception. And who could forget the best movie hero trilogy ever, the Dark Knight trilogy. Just the Dark Knight movie, probably the best comic book movie ever. And then even his latest movie with Dunkirk was awesome. Christopher Nolan, just, man, he just does it right. I can't wait to see his next movie, to be honest. And hopefully he comes out with another one quick. I hear, I think Q Diggity was telling me he's coming out with one this summer. Well, hopefully, if we ever get it. So, Christopher Nolan, my number 2, guys.
Yeah, obviously, I'm a Batman fan. I don't know. Yeah, he made superhero movies realistic, which I never thought could happen. And his war movies are great, very suspenseful. He's another one with the music in it, building up the suspense. Great pick.
Thank you. Let's pull it over to Paul Stuffy. Let's see what he's got.
Yeah, I just got to throw in some real quick comments, man. Yeah, Scorsese is only getting better with age. Wolf of Wall Street, the scene with McConaughey beating his chest while they're drinking the martinis. Oh, and he's like, tells him to keep it going while he's drinking the martini. Excellent. Yeah, Scorsese, that's the problem. We all have such similar tastes that we have to fight over directors. I mean, we all would have had Scorsese. 2 comments on Jurassic Park. Yeah, for me, the scene when they first entered Jurassic Park to do the tour, and the paleontologist, and you got M. Beaujolais, a.k.a. The actual mathematician. And anyway, you first see that brontosaurus, and that, talk about, we could spend a whole episode on musical compositions. The hair on my neck, and I bought the soundtrack, when that orchestra comes in conjunction with them first seeing the dinosaurs, is just an amazing moment. And not that I have personal experience with this, and I do not condone this, but don't ever take mushrooms and then watch Jurassic Park. The raptors will mess with your head. Not that that's ever happened. So anyway, great pick so far, guys. Yeah, The Dark Knight for me is the best Batman series, outside, of course, our affection for the original, Tim Burton and Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton one. But as far as movies, man, yeah, The Dark Knight. So, yeah, you guys are just rocking it. Okay, I'm going to go a little offbeat.
Hey, Sir Paul, you having flashbacks to your Wolf of Wall Street days there? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. No, again, I said it's not from personal experience or anything. So I'm going with Wes Anderson. And the first Wes Anderson movie I saw was with Boston Roy, Rushmore. And then, of course, we dug into his older stuff, Bottle Rocket. He works with a lot of the same actors. He's awesome. I can watch Royal Tenenbaums over and over again. You've got Gene Hackman, just all-star cast, Angelica Houston, Bill Murray. You've got both the Owen and Luke Wilson, Ben Stiller, just amazing. And then Life Aquatic, Steve Zissou. Again, you got Bill Murray. Darjeeling Limited. As you can see, I got a lot of his movies, but I even like, the more recent stuff. Some of his animated stuff is weird and wacky. I just love it all.
Aren't you forgetting his best one?
Which,
yeah, don't leave us in suspense.
yeah, go ahead, tell us.
Isn't Rushmore his best movie?
John, you obviously weren't paying attention. Jay Goobles, I held up Rushmore and said I saw it in the theater with Boston Roy. That's the first one I talked about.
Yeah, you were calling me out for not paying attention. I was asking a question about Back to the Future, and you're zoning out there.
Yeah, so Wes Anderson, what else can I say? I love the Royal Tenenbaums. It reminds me of kind of my family growing up. So,
Paul, Life Aquatic, underrated Bill Murray movie.
Yeah, I have. I went out and bought similar Adidas to the Steve Zissou Adidas because of that movie. That's how obsessed I got. I even got the Glock that they issue to all the sailors. So I've got the Glock and the Adidas shoes. So if I ever want to be Zissou for Halloween, I can totally pull it off.
What about the knit hat?
No, but I mean, yeah, I can easily get a nice red knit hat.
Just
That's a
smash
great
it all
pick.
down, all tight.
Great
Yeah.
pick, brother. I tell you, great characters he's created. Even with that little fella, Mr. Little Jeans, Pagoda. And I don't know if you mentioned the Royal Tannenbaums or not. I wasn't paying attention, but Gene Hackman's character as Royal Tannenbaum is incredible. It is incredible. If you have not seen this movie, it may seem a little goofy to you, but it is one of the funniest, jerkiest characters you're ever going to see. My God, it's incredible.
Gene
Great pick.
Hackman.
You
does
guys
funny.
really aren't. You guys really aren't paying attention. I've held up the DVD. I went on to a whole spiel about Angelica Houston and Hackman.
I think Q Diggity was throwing a jab, being really witty about saying that. Were you not, Q Diggity?
I've been accused of being sarcastic and sometimes condescending.
I was gonna give him props for being witty, for making that comment, because he was listening to you.
Well, hey,
Mr.
look
Stuffy.
here, fellas. Looking cool with sunglasses, but it looks cool, but it makes it hard to see the damn screen. That's
Yeah,
how
it blocks your ears, doesn't it?
What
He
you got
did not
coming up
say
on the
Rushmore.
deck,
Rewind the tape. Anyway, I think it's your pick there, RC.
All right. Well, my number one is, that's right. Go ahead, make my day, Clint Eastwood. So Clint Eastwood movies are all basically, there's not like a crazy storyline. They're always kind of to the point. You know what you're getting. Maybe a little suspense. No BS. I mean, well, yeah, no BS. And he did a movie called Gran Torino and filmed that in the Metro Detroit area, which my wife points out to me every time that movie's on, which has been on a lot lately, that I tell her where the scenes were at. And I say, did I tell you where this was at? And she, looks at me like, yeah, I'm a buffoon because I've told her many times where it's at. I get excited about it. I don't know why. He was a huge influence on me doing what I wanted to do. One of the Dirty Harry series, which he didn't direct, but that character has one of the worst bad guys ever. And I think we're going to do a whole nother topic on bad guys. Unforgiven, great. And this is going to be the fun fact of what I'm giving everybody here. A movie not everybody probably knows about is called The Rookie. And Charlie Sheen was in that movie with him. And Charlie Sheen was in also Young Guns 1 with Emilio Estevez, who was in Young Guns 2. Fun fact of Clint Eastwood. The 6 Degrees of Emilio Estevez.
We're going to be playing. We're going to be playing 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon pretty soon in another episode. And yeah, definitely villains is going to be a topic. I can't wait for that.
Clint Eastwood could have been my number one. Unbelievable movies. Yeah, you didn't even mention $1 Million Baby, which I have to admit, I cried like a baby during that end of that movie. Always sad endings in his movies, but man, Clint Eastwood's one of the best.
Yeah, he always has that real, Martin Scorsese too. They have that, the both of them do, where the good guy always doesn't win at the end of the movie, which can, kind of relate into real life.
That's right. His movies are about redemption too. I'm always a big fan of that. I'm always in need of it.
Great point.
I think he directed $1 Million Baby, but I never saw it. So
good. I think someone here cried, I think, watching that movie. Like a baby. Yeah, like a baby.
Okay.
I got 1 point. Wasn't Clint Eastwood also the mayor of Carmel, California? And then I'd also like to shout out to a fan and someone named Carmel, a fellow entertainer in the entertainment industry that we met one night, who's also from Carmel, California. So little fun fact about Clint Eastwood.
I'm going to throw another fun fact for all our golfer fans out there. He is part owner in Pebble Beach.
Obviously, I'm not a golfer, but thank you for that fun fact.
Didn't know.
So for some of our fan golfers.
I think I'm on deck. For my number one pick, it's a personal favorite. I don't think this guy won any Oscars, but he damn well should have. John McTiernan. He hasn't done a movie in a long time. His last movie was Basic with Travolta and Sam Jackson, which wasn't bad. It wasn't a great movie. He also did Rollerball, which I didn't watch. I didn't know he directed it. And I'm still not going to watch it. But he had some good ones. Thomas Crown Affair, 13th Warrior. That was a Michael Crichton adaptation from Eaters of the Dead. My buddy T-Bone, one of his favorites. And the big ones for me, though, are Last Action Hero. Last Action Hero took the biggest action star I've ever seen in my life, and they made fun of what he did. And they had great characters in it. Danny DeVito played a cartoon cat, for crying out loud. Old Man Lannister was the bad guy in it. Just great stuff. He turns the car to roll the dynamite. Jay Goobs would understand this. Over to his side of the car so he could put out the wick with his fingers. That's action right there. I love that movie. The other one is Hunt for Red October. I love the Jack Ryan series. You got a Scottish guy that's playing a Russian submarine captain and an Irish guy as his first mate. The accents are terrible. It is fantastic. I can't get enough of it. I love that movie to death. The one he's known best for, though, is Die Hard. And I know I'm hijacking this show right now, just like Hans Gruber is hijacking Nakatomi Plaza. I mean, Vince the Schuster, Shoot the Glass. It is a great movie, the everyman's movie. And some people would say that that's his best movie. And I love that movie. But his best movie is Predator. Again, with the greatest action star that anyone's ever seen, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Shirts off when they're setting the trap, all the muscles. It's exhilarating. I love that movie. It's got the best non-human character in my mind that's ever been. That includes like Chewbacca, Garfield, and Ed Norton's character from Rounders. It's fantastic. I love this movie. I cannot get enough of it. One line I love from that is, Billy, you ain't afraid of no man. And he looks at Poncho and says, something's out there, General, and it ain't no man. We're all going to die. Fantastic stuff. I love it.
Well, Q Diggity, I don't know. He did the Die Hard series, too. I don't know if you've seen those.
He did do Die Hard. He did Die Hard 3, too.
They're really good. They're great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Speaking of Die Hard, they featured both Rolexes and Tag Heuers in that movie quite prominently. They were supposed to play a bigger part in the movie, and it was actually dialed back. But that's how they release the villain, is they undo Molly's Rolex, and he falls from the tower.
yeah, I mean, Die Hard is probably in everybody's top 5 favorite action movies of all time, at least people our age. So Predator, great. Hunt for Red October, great. You know what? I was suspicious of what you were going to go with here, Q Diggity, but I think you picked a good one.
I'm just surprised you left the Die Hard movies out.
What's that?
I'm just surprised you left the Die Hard movies out.
Yeah, I'm forgetful. We know how it is that the lights come on, we get a little flustered. But McTiernan, he's an old ornery bastard. Just action. That's how you make an action film. You don't got to explain everything. You don't got to look in the back of the truck and not see the ambulance like at the beginning of Die Hard. Just give me some good tunes too, right? RC Dub. You know, we got Christmas in Hollis and Die Hard. You got Long Tall Sally in Predator. Just great stuff. Great stuff.
Yippee-ki-yay. And I think it was the one scene was the plane scene, I think, was filmed at City Airport or Metro Airport in Detroit.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm just throwing I said one fun fact about Emilio Estevez. and giving some other fun facts here too.
Nothing wrong with Detroit love, brother.
Yippee ki yay, I guess. I'm gonna go with my last pick, and number one's gonna be Quentin Tarantino, fellas. I'm imagining everybody had this in their top three, but we kind of did like a draft version, so we didn't all have the same picks. But I mean, you're talking about Pulp Fiction, one of the greatest movies ever. Kill Bill 1 and 2, Jackie Brown, Django Unchained, Death Proof. I'm not even going to mention, well, I am mentioning True Romance, which he didn't direct, but he wrote. Every movie's awesome. Anybody our age, I'm pretty sure Quentin Tarantino is going to be in their list. I love it. And then, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, my favorite movie of last year. So just awesome all the way around. And also always had cool-ass soundtracks in his movies. So that would be my number one, guys.
Yeah.
Once upon Inglourious Bastards, one of his is, I think it's right below Pulp Fiction for me, Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I mean, that's probably my number two as well.
Yeah, so you were the first one to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I remember me and RCW were asking you questions, and you gave us such a stellar review of the movie. I mean, we just couldn't get enough information out of your review of the movie for us. Look, it was just so full of information.
I did not want to ruin the movie. I wanted you to experience it. I didn't want to tell you anything.
I don't think there was anything you could have really said to wreck that movie.
Hey, I wanted you guys to experience it like I did.
Normally that fool's throwing out spoilers left and right, so consider yourself lucky. Crying out loud.
We know if Q Diggity hasn't seen a movie, he doesn't want to hear anything. He wants to see it all himself, and I can appreciate that too. But I like having a little insight about something just to go into it. Just what am I getting myself into? That's just me, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Quentin Tarantino, awesome. What I'm really curious about, though, is what is Paul Stuffy's last pick?
Yeah, so just a couple quick comments. Yeah, Tarantino would have been up there for me. We kind of threw that one to you because you were late coming into the draft, and we felt bad. We took a lot of the other directors already, so we kind of threw you a bone on that one. And I'm going to go right into it. So I'm going with another Anderson, but it's not relation. Going with P.T. Anderson. So we got Magnolia. Tom Cruise is awesome in this. John C. Reilly. And, of course, Boogie Nights. I know I'm always talking about Boogie Nights, but I just love it, man. This is like the documentary to my life right here.
Your favorite producer in Boogie Nights?
You mean my direct? Yeah. So then a fictional director, Jack Horner, would be, my number one if he was a real director. But
I thought,
does he let you block your own
is the actual director of the film, Boogie Nights.
Hey, Paul, does Jack Horner let you block your own scenes?
Yeah, sometimes he lets me block my own scenes here in the closet. He gives me that freedom to work. But only because I recently got the TK21 modification. I did that right here in the closet.
It moved with it. It helps me.
Yeah. I recently upgraded. So, yeah, another great episode, guys. We went a little long, but my favorite part of it is the comments we throw back and forth. And speaking of the scene in Last Action Hero where he puts out the dynamite with his fingers, one time I saw somebody cook where they licked their fingers and flipped the meat in the pan with their bare hands. So it's similar to the action we saw in that movie. And one last comment. What do all of these directors have in common? None of them directed Young Guns 2. So on that note, YouTube, peace out. We love you.
Peace.
Yeah.
Dude. The food gets hot. You got to lick your fingers afterwards. You're putting out the heat. It wasn't before.
You gotta, and you go like,
I distinctly remember it was before. It was to flip it in the pan. It was definitely before. It was while the cooking process was happening.
You throw some hot shits in there too when you did it.
It was definitely while the process was happening.